Hello there guys, LazyBeast here. I hope you're all well today. Now what we've got for you today is 5 tips to get a better UI for yourself. So to improve your user interface, the lens through which you see World of Warcraft and through which you play the game. Now you could either be the person that's got no add-ons whatsoever, or you could be the guy that's got 50 million add-ons that have cluttered his screen that made it look like an absolute hellhole mess. So it may be time for some tweaking. So hopefully these 5 tips will help you make a nice improvement to your UI. If you like the look of anything that you see on my UI today, then I have got a video about that which will be linked in the description, where you can copy my import strings for LVY and things, and you can see any other add-ons that I'm using as well. So if you fancy that, that'll be in the description for you. With that said, let's jump into the video. Tip number 1 is to use an Addon Manager. So there's different ones that you can use. Basically, an Addon Manager is something that stops you from having to manually download each individual add-on and drag it into your World of Warcraft interface folder. So this is going to save you tons of time overall. It's going to make updating your add-ons really quick and easy, and it's also going to make finding new add-ons and alternative add-ons quite quick and simple. So you used to be able to use the Twitch app, but you can't do that anymore. I personally use an add-on manager called WoW, and I've also got a video on how you can get that and install that and use it. That'll also be in the description below. You can also use the alternative to Twitch, which is Overwolf, which is the new home of CurseForge. I've never used that myself, so I can't speak for how good it is, but people do use that and it works just fine from what I believe. So the choice is yours. Tip number 2 is just to try and keep your UI as clear as possible. So try not to have things oversized and obnoxiously large, just taking up unnecessary space. Remember that you want to see what's going on in the world, because if you do any kind of content where you need to be aware, like dungeons or raids or arenas or anything like that, you don't want stuff that's just going to be ruining your awareness. And so you can see things that are on the floor, you can see where people are and all that stuff. You need to be aware of what's going on. So you can sometimes find that though the elements of your UI and obviously the awareness you have on the screen, it's sort of like a balancing act. You want to have things such as, for example, weak auras perhaps, so that you've got like good combat awareness, but then again you don't want them to be so big that you can't see the boss's abilities and stuff, which is just gonna it's gonna be counterproductive. So if you find that your UI is a bit cluttered and things are getting in the way, but you still want all the things that you've got in your UI there, maybe just try moving positions of things. There's an add-on called Move Anything, and you can use that to literally do exactly what it says on the tin. You can move anything around, so if you want to put things all on one side, you can do that. It's totally up to you, so that might help you get your UI less cluttered. Now this tip moves nicely onto the third one, which is just remove old add-ons or just disable them. Now you've probably got add-ons for things, for example, archaeology, which you may not have used for like 6 years. So if you've never used an add-on for a long time, just get rid of it. It's the same thing as if you've got some stuff stuck up in your attic and you're never going to use it again, just chuck it in the tip or sell it. It's the same concept with the UI. Have a little look through your list. Like for example, I know I've got about 90 add-ons and probably 20 or 30 of them I just wasn't using, so I can get rid of those. It's as simple as that. Now it's important as well, just because obviously it's less clutter on your UI, it's less clutter in your folders, and it could even help your performance of your game. If your game's got to always load these add-ons up that are just not being used, then just get rid of them. If you're using an add-on manager as recommended in the first point, then what you can often do is keep the settings that you've configured specifically for your add-ons, and so if you were to reinstall them, you wouldn't need to configure the add-on all over again from scratch. So that can save you some time later on, and it makes deleting add-ons less impactful perhaps. Tip number 4 is just dedicate some time to your UI. Now this may sound a bit of a dumb suggestion, but you'll be surprised how long it can actually take to get your UI perfect and specifically how you want it. But also be surprised at how satisfying it is when you do actually invest some time into it and get it just right, and how pleasant that makes playing the game. There's nothing worse than just spending a quick 5 minutes on your UI, getting some new add-ons installed, thinking it's going to be all great, and then you get stuck into combat and there's just stuff going off left, right and centre. Your UI is a mess, you don't know what's going on, and it's just a bad experience. So if you actually put the time into getting things right, tweaking the positions of things, making things bigger or smaller, getting rid of things that you don't need, it can be really, really satisfying, and then obviously you don't need to do it again for a while. Now yes, it does feel like a bit of a chore, but it really, really is worth just sitting down, even if you have to spend like a good hour just tweaking things, getting new add-ons, changing things around. It's definitely worth it, guys. And tip number 5, if you need some inspiration, there's no harm in checking out other people's UI. So there's plenty of streamers out there and YouTubers which you can watch, and maybe choose people that play your class or do your preferred activity, whether that's PvP or PvE, and see how they've set their UI up and what they focus on. So you might see a lot of PvPers with quite a minimal UI so they can see more what's going on. And obviously they've got a different set of add-ons, key add-ons, to PvEers who may focus more on weak auras so they can know when boss abilities are coming off cooldown. You can see all their combat buffs and track all that sort of stuff a lot clearer. So there are definitely differences depending on the activity, and obviously depending on the class as well. Most streamers and YouTubers often give away their weak aura packages too, for example, so you can download these for yourself. Now sometimes you will need to subscribe to or follow the channel, but most of they are free to get and they could help you improve your UI and your gameplay overall quite a lot. So definitely check out people that play your class or do your preferred activity. And that, guys, is pretty much it for this video, so I hope you've enjoyed these tips and I hope that they do help you out to get your UI better. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a little like down below and consider subscribing for more guides for World of Warcraft and other random content. It's all good fun. Thanks for watching, guys. I've been LazyBeast. Take care, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.